Well, Senator, congratulations. First of all, I understand this is one of the biggest rallies that Boston has seen in quite some time. But what's extraordinary to me is the number of young people out here. I would say it was about 70% of the people here under 30.
Absolutely.
What kind of energy does that bring, that kind of young support bring to your campaign?
Well, we've been seeing this all across the country. I think young people are hungry for some old-fashioned idealism. I think they are expressing it in all sorts of ways, organizing around Darfur, organizing around the environment. But they haven't channeled it into their politics in a very long time. I think a lot of them feel cynical. And this may be an opportunity, this election and this campaign, to start drawing those young people in and unleashing those energies to really change how our government is run.
You spoke about that earlier today at the House party, too, inspiring a new young generation of voters who might be disenchanted, a little sick of the way politics has been going as usual. How do you get past that?
Well, the key is just asking them to get involved. I think that a lot of campaigns give lip service to young people, but they don't really give them the kind of power and involvement that they have. 4 years ago, Howard Dean did do it, but I think it didn't get organized exactly the way it needed to. We are sort of improving on that model. Deval Patrick here in Massachusetts, my campaign in Illinois, we've been really trying to build from the grassroots up and emphasize organizing, and that's something young people seem to appreciate, giving ordinary folks who are involved in the campaign the power to run with their ideas and move forward on them.
And it does seem that your campaign really, more than any of your rivals at this point, has connected with that first-time voter, with young voters. Why do you think that is?
Well, some of it is I represent a new generation of national politicians, and so the language I speak doesn't feed off the old arguments, the old debates. I'm not still arguing about the 60s. I want to look forward. And I think that's how young people feel. They're less interested in ideology and rhetoric than they are sincerity and trying to problem solve. And that, I think, is what we need to reflect in our government.
I'll tell you what, if you could translate MySpace support and Facebook support into votes, you'd have this thing in the bag, because I believe MySpace, it's 180,000 friends at this point, which is 40,000 ahead of Hillary. How much has online support meant to you?
Well, online support has been the vehicle through which we've not only raised money, but we've also organized. I mean, we've got MySpace members who have set up their own structures and activate people in states where I haven't even shown up, and we'll start canvassing and going door to door. And what MySpace and the other online tools, Facebook, allow people to do is to just pull the tools that they need off the web and run with it. And now it requires, I think, the campaign to give up a little bit of control and not be so obsessed with running every single element of the campaign, which means that there's going to be a little occasional creative chaos out there. But I think young people appreciate it.
Are you online a lot? Do you have any favorite websites you like to hang out in?
I've got to admit that most of the time, by the time I get home or in the hotel room, because I don't get home that often, right, I'm too sleepy to surf the web.
You seem like a busy guy, always going. For 15 years now, and every 4 years, MTV's Choose or Lose has been all about trying to inspire young people and get them informed and really ultimately get them out there and turning out in greater numbers to vote. We've had mixed results. Some election years have been better than others. Are you confident that this year those first-time voters will be out there in greater numbers?
I think this is going to be a year where it happens. People feel deeply about the war. I think that young people recognize that on everything from climate change to the federal debt, that they're being set up for a bad deal, and that they need to get serious. Now, we're not going to predict a doubling or tripling of the youth vote, but I think that you're going to see a substantial increase, and I think that will serve our campaign well, and I think it'll serve the country well.
Well, finally, there's going to be a lot of young people with you in Iowa on Monday. There'll be thousands more online through MySpace and MTV. Is there any question that you haven't been asked? And they're going to be asking you questions about all kinds of things. Anything you haven't been asked that you might like to hear about?
I can't think of a question that hasn't been asked, because I've done a lot of interviews since we started this thing. But I'm sure somebody will spring something on me.
Yeah. They're inventive.
Yeah,
all right. Thank you so much, sir. We'll see you on Monday. All right.
Appreciate it.
That's great.